What's going on, everyone? It's Mike back again, and this is your match preview. It's Everton against Manchester City at Goodison Park. There's been a few bits of news, and there's a few things I want to talk about before we get into the preview. And let's talk about the most important bits. So, first of all, the events in Ukraine. I'm not going to pretend that I know many Russians and equally Ukrainians. I know one of each, and neither of them want a war. My point to this is, we've got a left back who is Ukrainian, and I feel as a football club that we need to be supporting him the right way, doing what we can to support even his family members. That I know it's difficult when they may be in Ukraine, but whatever we can do as a football team, as an organisation to support that, I think that's the right thing to do. And I'll go further than that. Everton, as an entity, as a football club, and the fans and the fans forum and all of the collective people behind the crowd and noise that has happened and has really improved over the last few home games, have been doing a brilliant job. But this weekend, for definite, the war siren should not be part of Z Cars. And I know there'll be people who would say it's nothing to do with us. It doesn't matter. If Mykolenko walks onto that pitch, hearing that noise, and Zinchenko for Manchester City, I just think it's disrespectful to them both. So, look, I would like that not to be played, and sort of a sign of respect. A sign of respect, because it's horrendous what's going on in Ukraine. By the sounds of it, a very peaceful country, and when we've got one of our own who is a national of Ukraine, it's just not right in my opinion. So that's my say on that. Then we move on to other news. Kevin Thirlwell has been appointed Everton's director of football. He's done a lot of work around where I live. So he worked for, I think it's called Heart of the Midlands, which was a sports organisation. He then worked at Wolverhampton Wanderers. He's been at New York Red Bull, etc. It's an underwhelming appointment. Let's not say it as any other way. It is an underwhelming appointment. However, he did a decent job at Wolves. He signed some decent players. Diogo Jota was one of those players that come in and did well. So, look, let's just trust him. Let's just trust him. See how he gets on. He's not going to be on as much money as Marcel Brands, I would have thought, and people like that. And see how he gets on with the job. And I would leave it there. Let's talk about the game. Everton go into this game with 12 defeats in the last 16. It's a game that Everton need to win, and there's no sugarcoating that because of where we are. We're seeing the teams below us now picking up points. Burnley beating Spurs midweek, Norwich seemingly being able to get results occasionally every now and then. Watford getting a result at Villa, but then losing at home to Palace. So we're seeing that these teams, instead of just being beaten now, they're getting results. They're getting 3 points. They're getting a point here, there, and everywhere. And Everton's only hope, in my opinion, of picking up points is at home. And these home games are coming thick and fast. And it's important that we get results because, we've lost to Watford at home, and that could have been a lovely cushion from us and teams like Watford. And we needed to win those games. There's been lots of times at homes this season where we've not turned a result. West Ham. These are games Everton need to win and need to get points in, and they didn't. And that makes games against Manchester City the ones you have to get those points in. And it's a tough ask. And I don't think many of us expect Everton to get anything, but we've got to have hope. We've got to have hope. And I'll go into this game, and I heard the press conference today, and he was talking about Ben Godfrey and Damari Gray, Decore training, etc. And he was saying about Damari Gray rushing him back into the team, the same as Decore, especially against the Manchester City side. And he spoke logically, Frank. He spoke logically. He spoke well in the press conference today, I thought. And Everton need to be strapped up, ready to go, and socks pulled up. And going into this game against a very, very, very tough Manchester City side, they have to be prepared. They have to be on it from the moment the kick-off starts, because, we've seen Everton will start quick, but if we don't score within 4 or 5 minutes, then we tend to be 1-0 down after 20, and then we just can't come back. So it's really, really important that Everton go into this game and try to be aggressive. I really do think we have to try and be aggressive, be strong, be a little bit bolder, and it's important that we take Man City at face value. They are a good side. They play good football. They'll have the possession. But how are we going to break down the lines? How are we going to try and control the game in our way? Let them have the ball. But are we going to allow them into our 25-yard area? Are we going to let them into our box? How are we going to stop that? Are we going to stop the crosses? Are we going to make them play narrow? Because Manchester City have got the keys to literally every lock in the Premier League, and Everton have got to find a way of stopping them opening the lock. And if we can't, it could be a kicking. It could be a kicking. It could be 3 or 4-0. No one would be criticised on this channel with me saying anything to them if they went, Mike, we're going to get smashed 4-0. I wouldn't. I could understand. I can see it. I get it. I just hope we don't. I hope we put in a performance that we can be proud of. I hope we go into the game and we really fight, some conviction, some passion. And I do think it's a tough ask. I think it's a huge game. But it's a game Everton have to try and get a result, because we can't just throw these games away. We can't just throw these games away. So, big ask. In terms of team, look, it's a tough one, because we don't know if Mykolenko is going to play. We don't know about Decore. We don't know about Damari Gray. So I'm not going to necessarily name a team. What I am going to say is, I'd like to see Patterson, and there'll be loads of people on here saying, why would you throw him into this Manchester City game? And it's because Coleman's so inconsistent. Coleman away from home is different to Coleman at home. He might be good at home. He really might. The crowd gets on him, sings 60 grand, Seamus Coleman, etc. But, when you're a captain of Everton Football Club, you need to be as consistent as you physically can. And literally, it's chalk and cheese with Seamus. It's chalk and cheese. And I just think it's not going to do Nathan Patterson any harm coming into a Premier League game and having a tough time against a Grealish or a Foden or a Bernardo Silva who might come down the left-hand side, or Raheem Sterling. I almost think that's better than him going into a game against a lesser team and getting torn a new one there because he hasn't got that experience. I just think we've got to give him a chance at some point. I'm fed up of seeing Coleman making mistakes, and there's more. Andre Gomez, I don't want to see him anywhere near the football pitch. I worry defensively, Holgate and Keane, but there's not very much we can do about it. I do want to see Mykolenko starting at left back if he's in the right frame of mind. If he's not, and he should be absolutely excused and no problem at all. Absolutely no problem at all. Then you've got, in terms of the midfield, you've got players like Iwobi. I don't want to see Iwobi. I'd rather see Townsend than Iwobi. And I'd rather see Everton trying to play on the front foot rather than messing about with it and losing the ball in their own third. So it's key that we do that. It's key that we go into this game and we are aggressive. We try and work out the little intricate passes that we can play against City, because, we know what Laporte or Stones or Diaz or whoever plays at the back can offer. We know what their wing-backs, Cancelo, Zinchenko, whoever it is, at left and right back. We know about the midfield, the creativity, the Mahrezes, the Sterlings, the Gundogans, the Foden, the Grealish, whoever, the De Bruyne. It's immaterial. We know about the danger that the striker can have in Gabriel Jesus. Always seems to get a goal against Everton. So, look, I just think it's key that we go into this game and we try to be brave, we try to be strong. In terms of score prediction, I'm going to be positive. I'm going to go for a 1-1. I'm going to say that, Everton go into this game, maybe go 1-0 down, but we fight back in the second half and get a draw. And I would take that. If you offer me a draw right now, I'll take it all day, every day. But this Manchester City side is something special. And, people will argue about what it'll mean for the league. And, I've seen something on Sky Sports today. And I thought it's the reason why I'll never go on. I'll never go on Sky Sports as much as I may be asked. I'll never go on because how can people justifiably say that it's a favour losing to Manchester City? I couldn't care less if anyone else wins the league apart from Everton. I couldn't care less. The one that I want to win the league is Everton, and I care that we try and win the league. But we're not there right now. So my care right now is that we don't get relegated. I don't care about anyone else. I don't care if the Red Shark go and win the league. Whatever. You go and do you, and we'll go and do us. Simple. Or it's a Man City, or a Man United, or a Spurs, or a Leicester, or a Watford, for whatever I care. I don't care. What I want is to see Everton Football Club sticking 11 players on that pitch and 7 or 9 substitutions, or whatever that stupid amount of subs it is now these days when only 3 or 5 can get made, whatever it is. I don't even know the fucking rule of that anymore. I just don't see the point. I want our football club to be the best it can be, and I don't care. So, we beat Man City, and then Liverpool are on level points or whatever it is. I don't care. Go and fight it for the league. I'm bothered about us. And at this moment in time, in my humble opinion, we need what? 18 points to stay up. I think it'll be close to 36 that'll go down, but that's what we need, and we need some big performances from some of these players. We need a bench where we can rely on Decore coming off it, or a Damari Gray coming off it, or if they both start, giving them all for 60 minutes, and, Gordon popping up in the channel. This will be a tough game for Gordon. This will be a massive game for him, but let's see what he's got. Richarlison's got to take this game by the scruff of the neck. Calvert-Lewin has to be better. He has to be better, because that's not me digging him out, but he's got a huge game holding that ball up against Manchester City, against some strong centre-halves. And if he doesn't do that, we're going to struggle to keep the ball. We're going to struggle to keep the ball in that third. He's got a massive game, massively important game this weekend, because if Calvert-Lewin struggles, the ball is just going to constantly come back at us, and he's got to have a good game. So, look, I'm not sitting here panicking. I'm not sitting here thinking we're going to get hammered. I'm not. I think we're capable of getting hammered, but I also think with the crowd, the fans, the players, the manager that we've got, the atmosphere that will be created, I feel like Everton can get a result. We can get a result. If you look at the games where we'd been poor up until our recent wins against Brentford and last week, we've done okay in the games against the bigger teams. Draws against Man United, draws against the bigger teams. We'd picked up results. We beat Arsenal, Goodison, etc. So, look, we seem to play better against the bigger teams, and if that means we go into this game and we give it a go, then I'm all for it. I'm all for it, and we will see. I'm going for 1-1, and I'm hoping I'm right. But look, some things are more important than football, and I've heard a lot of incredibly poor takes, and I'm not going to dig anyone out for it. And look, I'm not one of these creators that sits there and digs out other creators, because personally, I think it's pathetic. I think what Everton's creator scene doesn't do, and this is a criticism of all of us, is we don't work together enough, because the more we work together, the bigger we would be, because our audiences would interact more. And look, that's fine. I'm not bothered, but I do think that would help a lot more people. And I'm seeing creators now digging each other out on Twitter, or digging people out on socials, on Facebook, on YouTube, and I'm not just seeing it at Everton Football Club, by the way. I'm seeing it at a lot of other football clubs. It's pathetic. It's so pathetic, and it's important that when you support a football team, the fan base backs the team, and we're a voice. We are a voice. You know, look, I don't sit here and say I've got an influence in Everton Football Club. I don't. I'm pretty sure the club don't like me. Fine. But there'll be fans that go to that game on Saturday that listen to what I say, and I massively respect them for that, hugely, and I'm so grateful for the support. But as a result, we have a job. We have a job to support those guys and try and be that voice and be people who support each other and try and do it the right way. And I think if you have any sort of audience at all, and you start digging each other out, I think it's wrong. And I've seen a lot of it lately, and I think it's terrible. I think, actually, do you know what? I'll go as far as saying it's a fucking disgrace. So, there you go. First time I swore this video. But, look, guys, I'm leaving it there. The debrief will be on Monday. The match reaction will be after the game tomorrow. I've had a comment tonight saying that I'm not making enough content. I've been busy. I've got a life. Like, I have a job. And it's been tough. It's been a tough couple of weeks for me, like personally, mentally, physically. So I apologise to anyone that thinks I haven't done enough content. I am trying. In terms of Everton, it's just going to be as normal. You know, we've got to go into this game, be big, be bold, be brave, and see if we can get 3 points. And if we can't, take a point. Take a point. And look, if we lose this game, at least lose it showing an improvement. Don't lose it in the way that we lost last week to Southampton, where we were good for 15 minutes and we fell apart. Win this game. Do a Leeds. Go and get a goal early and try and dominate the game. And yes, we won't, but try. Show that hunger. And that's all I can ask. That's all I can ask. So, guys, look, I'm leaving it there. Thank you ever so much for watching, as always. Follow me on my socials, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. Really, really do appreciate it. As I say, I haven't been putting loads of content on any of those either. So, really would appreciate the support. And, yeah, you will have more content. It's coming. It's been a manic week with lots of bad news. And we've just got to keep going. So, guys, leave it there. Keep smiling. Peace.